When I moved out in December, I never planned on being back with Martell. I've caught him at this point in October. After March finding out, we're trying to reconcile. I'm thinking our marriage is back good.
This is all before the show?
All before the show.
This is all before the show.
You won't believe what's happening in the world of reality TV right now. Some former cast members from Carlos King's shows are taking legal action against him, and this is not just a one-off complaint from a disgruntled star. Several ex-reality TV personalities are stepping forward with accusations that Carlos King and his production team mishandled their contracts. Yes, you heard that correctly. The man who's behind some of the most popular reality TV shows is now caught up in a major legal battle, and it's shaking the industry to its core. The situation got even more intense when SoGucci Williams, one of the stars from Bell Collective, allegedly decided to sue Carlos King. The issue wasn't just about how she was portrayed on the show, it was about the way things were handled behind the scenes. What happened to her while filming wasn't just typical reality TV drama, it had a real impact on her life. Fans of the show knew there was some tension among the cast members, but Sophia's issues went way beyond the usual on-screen feuds. From the outside, Bell Collective seemed like another reality show filled with the kind of drama we've come to expect. But for Sophia, things took a more personal turn. She didn't just feel like she was being misrepresented on TV, she felt like the production team, under Carlos King's leadership, had crossed a line in how they treated her and other cast members. The problems weren't just about editing or the typical behind-the-scenes manipulation that reality shows are known for. The issues were deeper, and they involved serious contract disputes that many former cast members felt had gone unresolved. For Sophia, this wasn't just about some petty disagreement. She believed the way she was treated during filming had long-lasting effects on her personal and professional life. The tension on Bell Collective became more than just a storyline. It became something that she felt could harm her reputation and her future. What fans saw on screen was just a small part of the much bigger picture of how reality TV can impact those involved. When the cameras are off, the drama doesn't always end. And for some cast members, it turns into a real-life nightmare. This legal battle has drawn attention because Carlos King is such a well-known figure.
Really? From the show?
Yeah.
You never said that to me!
In the reality TV world. He's responsible for some of the most talked about shows on television, but now, his reputation is being called into question. The cast members who are speaking out are not just complaining about trivial matters. They are raising serious concerns about how they were treated and how their careers have been affected by their time on his shows. The fact that multiple former cast members are coming forward with similar complaints suggests that this issue might be bigger than just a few bad experiences. If multiple people are saying the same thing, it's hard to ignore. This could be the beginning of a larger shift in how reality TV stars are treated, both on and off the screen. Reality TV has always been known for its drama, but there's a fine line between creating compelling content and exploiting the people who help make the show successful. Carlos King, once celebrated for his role in creating these iconic shows, is now facing serious accusations. The backlash against him is not just coming from the cast members involved, it's starting to reach the fans who have been entertained by his shows for years. Viewers are starting to question how these shows are made, and whether the people behind the scenes are treating their cast members fairly. For many, this could be a wake-up call that the entertainment we enjoy often comes at a much higher cost than we realize. This controversy is about more than just a handful of angry cast members. It's about the way reality TV is produced and the consequences it can have on the lives of those who participate in it. In the quest for ratings and drama, are the people who make these shows being treated as nothing more than pawns in a game? For Sophia and others, it seems like the answer is yes. And now, they are fighting back. The legal actions being taken by former cast members like Sophia could change the landscape of reality TV. If these lawsuits are successful, it might lead to more transparency and better treatment for future reality stars. At the very least, it could spark a conversation about how far reality TV shows should go in order to create drama and keep viewers engaged. If these stars are truly being mistreated, then it's time for the industry to take a hard look at how it operates. Sophia's lawsuit against Carlos King is just the beginning. Other former cast members are expected to come forward with their own stories, and the ripple effect of this controversy could have lasting consequences for the reality TV industry. People are starting to see the darker side of the shows they love to watch, and the impact on those who appear on screen is becoming harder to ignore. Reality TV may never be the same again. What started as a fight over contracts and behind-the-scenes drama is now turning into a larger conversation about ethics, fairness, and the cost of fame. She claims that Carla surprised her by unexpectedly inviting Selena Johnson, her husband's ex-wife, onto the show. We all know that reality TV is all about drama, but this is where things get interesting. Gucci thought that this wasn't just about making entertainment content. Rather, it was about bringing up private matters that didn't need to be broadcast on television. She felt that Carlos purposefully included Selena to stir up trouble and that the emotional toll on her family was much worse than anyone could have predicted. The most bizarre aspect in an interview with blogger Mitchin, Gucci revealed everything and denied that Carlos King had ever warned her about Selena's arrival on the show. Fans began to wonder if this was done on purpose. According to SOI, she had no idea Selena would be joining the show until she was already in the middle of filming. Can you imagine the shot cameras rolling, emotions high, and suddenly you're face to face with your husband's ex-wife, and not in a friendly way? Gucci is not alone in this battle, though, as another well-known reality TV personality, Melody Holt, has hinted that she may sue Carlos King. Gucci believes her entire family suffered as a result of what happened on the show, and she isn't backing down. Carlos King's purpose was to play with the cast members' real lives in order to create more dramatic moments on TV. In SoGucci's case, the Melody scenario is much more heated, as another former cast member delivered a bombshell during the romance and marriage, just when you thought the scandal couldn't get any worse. Reunion in Huntsville. Someone who had previously been involved in all the turmoil, Destiny Pon, startled everyone by making an unexpected accusation. Melody and her ex-husband Martel had prepared her for a potential threesome. Yes, you heard correctly, and the crowd was incredulous at this point. What they heard at this point, things took an unexpected turn. Not only did the production team permit the shocking statement to air, but they also used it as the title of the episode. Melody was furious at the allegation. It wasn't just another argument. It was an attack on her character, something she never imagined would happen on national television. Can you believe that Melody didn't just have to deal with the claim being made on TV, but also had to witness it being marked as a pivotal moment in the show for Melody? This was going too far, and many people began to wonder if this was all part of a larger scheme or if Carlos King and his team purposefully kept this scene in order to increase views, even though it might damage someone's reputation. If so, it wasn't just messy. It might even be deemed defamation of character, which is precisely why Melody might be preparing to sue. She publicly expressed her disgust that Carlos and his team failed to cut that scene out during editing. Firmly felt that some things shouldn't be used for entertainment, especially when it comes to harming someone's reputation. Now, if SOI's lawsuit is successful and Melody files a lawsuit as well, could this spell the end of Carlos King's reality TV empire? More and more fans are wondering how reality shows are made and whether the drama is being manufactured at the expense of actual people's lives. The reality TV industry is known for being dramatic, but what makes this story unique is that it's now about actual repercussions, legal battles, and reputations being destroyed. This is actually where it gets even more twisted after Gucci's claims and Melody's outrage. More people began speaking up, and what they had to say made things worse for Carlos King. In an attempt to determine if Carlos King had a pattern, admirers began to delve deeper. Some former stars stayed quiet about his practice of pushing his cast members to the edge for the purpose of excellent TV, but rumors of further lawsuits began to circulate online. It wasn't only about love and marriage. Other cast members from other Carlos King productions were reportedly thinking about speaking out as well, but before it could even get traction, one specific incident caught everyone's attention: Huntsville or Bell Collective. Let me clarify that Melody Holt's possible lawsuit wasn't only over a poor plot or an unjust edit. This was a private matter. From her highly public divorce from Martel Holt to dealing with betrayal on several levels, Melody had already experienced a lot on Love and Marriage Huntsville. However, the reunion episode completely turned her life upside down when Destiny Payton made the shocking claim that she and Martel were preparing her for a potential threesome. Here's the crazy part: Melody wasn't only outraged about the fact that Carlos King let it to run in its entirety, uncensored. She was accused of incensed that the production crew made it the main focus of the show, considering all of the reunion moments. In order to draw viewers' attention, the producers decided to emphasize this one by including it in the title of the show. In addition to battling unfounded allegations, Melody was also defending herself against a reality TV machine that seemed to be against her. This is where things become even more complicated, since many viewers believe that reality show producers have a duty to protect their cast members from seriously harming their reputations. Drama sells, sure, but shouldn't there be restrictions? Melody made it apparent that she thought Carlos King and his team had crossed a very fine line. She wasn't only considering the personal effects, she also knew that this would have an effect on her family, children, and business. However, the shocking part is that some fans began to speculate that this wasn't the first time that Carlos King had used a reality star's personal affairs in a careless manner. This is where things get really interesting. When insiders began leaking information about how the editing process actually works behind the scenes, some former cast members suggested that Carlos had a tendency to push storylines in a way that made people look worse. Other former cast members who had left the Love and Marriage franchise or worked on different Carlos King productions started to hint that they had similar experiences, more than they actually were in Melody's case. Many people think that Destiny's accusation should never have aired, even if the statement was made during filming. However, the production team chose to make it prominent instead, and for the sake of more views, more controversy, and a bigger season, this is what made Melody seriously consider filing a lawsuit on her behalf. This wasn't just reality TV, it was a calculated attempt to harm her reputation. The story doesn't end here. Just when everyone thought this was already too much to handle, another former cast member dropped a bombshell. This time, it wasn't about Love and Marriage Huntsville or Bell Collective, it was about Carlos King himself. If you thought things couldn't get any more outrageous, she wouldn't let Carlos King and his team get away with airing something so reckless, and if she actually goes through with suing him, this could be one of the biggest legal battles reality TV has ever seen. Startling. Wait to hear what happened next. This is where it gets really interesting. Up until this point, the majority of the controversy focused on Carlos King's production choices, such as how he handled drama, edited scenes, and created conflict between cast members. However, as the internet was ablaze with rumors about Melody Holt's possible lawsuit and SoGucci's accusations, another former cast member came forward with claims that could change everything. Now that the focus was shifting towards Carlos King himself, people started asking serious. This is the most bizarre part. An insider who had worked closely with Carlos King came forward with a shocking claim that Carlos had a history of manipulating situations off camera, pushing cast members into awkward confrontations, and even breaking promises made behind closed doors. This wasn't just rumors. There were people who were willing to talk, and this is where the story took an unexpected turn. Was this just bad reality TV? Now, of course, reality TV is all about drama, but these claims suggested something even more serious. Some former cast members allegedly felt trapped in their contracts, forced into conflicts they didn't want to be part of, and in some cases, lied to about how their stories would be portrayed on screen. Here's the shocking part 1. A former cast member who had remained silent for years turned out to have been pressured into filming scenes they weren't comfortable with. Chose to come out, claiming that Carlos had promised them a fair edit, but that their image in real life was ruined when the episode aired because they were made to seem like the villain. Beyond repair. And despite the fact that it was only a show, the effect on their personal lives was so real that friendships ended, business opportunities vanished, and, worst of all, they felt taken advantage of. Now, things get even stranger as more sources begin to imply that this was about more than just editing. Some former cast members reportedly felt that. Here's where it gets even more controversial. Some of the biggest fights and breakdowns on Carlos King's reality shows were allegedly not as real as fans thought. Some cast members claim that Carlos and his production team pushed people to their emotional limits knowing it would create viral moments and when his purpose was to intentionally create power struggles between them rather than letting natural drama unfold. You won't believe what happened next as more former cast members began to speak out about Carlos King's entire reality TV empire being at risk. Rumors circulated that legal documents were being prepared behind the scenes, and industry insiders claimed that at least 2 separate lawsuits were in the works, one possibly from Melody Holt and another from a former cast member who had remained silent up until this point. But this is where it gets even more bizarre. King's previous endeavors and an unexpected discovery. This is where the story takes an unexpected turn. As Carlos was working on Real Housewives of Atlanta, there were rumors that he had secretly planned to produce a tell-all special about Phaedra Park's ex-husband Apollo Nita without Fed's knowledge. Many fans of reality TV are aware that Carlos worked on the show long ago, but some may not be aware that he was fired from the franchise due to behind-the-scenes drama. It appears that history is repeating itself this time, but the stakes are much higher because reality TV has changed and cast members are no longer scared to call out networks and production companies for mistreatment. Bravo allegedly severed ties with him, and he went on to start his own production company. The most bizarre part is that some fans think this was the start of a pattern, and now that several former cast members of his own shows may be pursuing legal action, it could reveal secrets about how reality stars are handled behind the scenes and how these programs are produced. But here's where it gets shocking. According to certain sources, some cast members were coerced into signing contracts that forbade them from criticizing the show. Non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, are often utilized in reality TV even after cast members have gone, but some are now beginning to wonder whether these contracts were reasonable or if they were just a way to keep the cast members silent. The circumstances surrounding Melody Holt demonstrate that reality stars are. She is no longer willing to keep quiet and has already hinted at filing a lawsuit, which might inspire others to do the same. But wait, this isn't even the biggest twist in the story. Just when everyone thought they had heard everything, a voice from behind the scenes, a former producer who had worked with Carlos King, spoke up for the first time, and what they had to say had the power to completely alter the course of events. A former producer who worked closely with Carlos King finally spoke out just as the controversy appeared to be coming to an end, and what they revealed sent shockwaves through the industry. Let me tell you, this revelation changed everything. According to this insider, Carlos King's backstage operations were even more calculated than people realized, involving complete control over the narratives of the cast members rather than just sloppy editing or dramatic storylines. The most absurd thing is that the producer said that some. This is where it gets even more shocking. The former producer claimed that Carlos and his team occasionally gave cast members misleading information to incite more conflict. Some reality stars were assigned specific roles to play whether they wanted to or not, and if they didn't comply, their footage was edited to make them look bad. Some of the altercations we saw on reality TV weren't spontaneous disputes, rather, they were planned in advance to ensure dramatic explosions. Now consider the case of Melody Holt, who was incensed that her name was associated with a wholly untrue allegation on national television. However, after learning this new information, one may question whether this was merely a setup or whether Carlos permitted Destiny Payton to make that claim knowing it would result in the season's largest scandal. This is where things took an unexpected turn. According to the insider, Carlos King has a reputation for omitting parts of sequences to keep certain actors safe while tossing others under the bus. Indicates that some people intentionally benefited more than others, and guess what? Many of those individuals were Carlos's loyal supporters behind the scenes. Now, let's discuss the lawsuits. Should Melody Holt and SoGucci both file a lawsuit, it could compel Carlos King and his production team to turn over production notes, behind-the-scenes footage, and perhaps even emails or texts that demonstrate how these shows were manipulated. If that occurs, it could reveal the dark side of reality TV in a way that has never been seen before. The question now is whether these lawsuits will actually occur, whether Melody and SoGucci will follow through on their legal threats, whether Carlos King will find a way to settle things behind the scenes, and more importantly, whether several cast members will file lawsuits. If they do, this could become a class action lawsuit, which would mean that dozens of former reality stars could band together against Carlos King, potentially leading to millions of dollars in damages and the end of his reality TV empire. Members of the cast make their own assertions. There is no doubt that this scandal is far from finished. If these lawsuits proceed, they may reveal some of the most significant secrets in reality TV history. Now, I would want to know whether you believe that these lawsuits will take place and, if so, if you believe that Carlos King's reign will come to an end. Let's discuss reality TV in the comments below. As usual, remember to like, subscribe, and enable alerts so you don't miss the next update because, believe me, this is just the beginning of the narrative.